today. It is bright. Because I was just about to fall asleep and then I was just like thinking a lot and then I was like, boy, you better make a video if you're thinking a lot. So like, here we are. You know what? I'm just gonna sit down because like, boy, a bitch gets tired, okay? Like, I have legs that should rest. Okay. Let's try not to fucking break the entire fucking room, Angela. Like, today is not the day to do that. We've had enough drama. But earlier today, a lot happened, and just, like, I think I talked about it. Like, I know I talked about it, but, like, I don't know if I, like, got it full scale. Like, I just could not stop crying. It lasted until, like, literally at least 3 p.m. Like, from, like, last night to 3 p.m. today. Like, that's how long I was upset and, like, crying. And, like, I went to the vet at, like, 3:20 and I was still slightly upset, so I still wasn't technically as good as I could have been. But I wasn't, like, sobbing, like, periodically and, like, just not able to, like, really, like, move. Like, I just, like, I would get up and then, like, I was just, like, I would get a headache or, like, I would get dizzy and I was just like, nope, we're going back down. And, like, I don't freaking know, like, what they call that, but, like, it happened, and it, like, happened all day today, and, like, it was a lot. But the good news is that I'm feeling better now. So, yeah, like, I don't, like, just, and I've just been thinking a lot, like, I bash myself all the time for, like, thinking about, like, the stuff that happened with my mom and how, like, I'm such a, like, disenfortunate child. Like, I went through so much. Like, I always feel guilty for ever thinking that because, like, there are people around the world who are, like, literally, like, raped on a daily basis, who are sold into slavery. Like, there's so many more terrible things and lifestyles that people have to deal with, like, way worse than mine. And so, like, I always feel guilty whenever I think, like, I had a terrible lifestyle when I didn't. Like, my mom loved me. I mean, sure, it was extreme and, like, very, like, yeah, I've talked about it enough. Like, I don't need to get into it over again. And so we get it. Like, she loved me. Like, she may not have taken care of me the best, but she loved me. So, like, I have two loving parents. Like, I mean, sure, they're fucked up in their own different ways, but, like, I do have two loving parents. And I've always lived with a roof over my head. I've never once been homeless. So there's that. Oh, actually, have I been homeless? Wait. Okay, I might have been homeless at one point in my life. I don't really fully remember that well, but damn well near close to it. The point is, I've had a rough life, and I just, like, always feel like I feel guilty for ever saying that because, like, so many other people, like, have way worse lives than me. And, like, I always feel guilty because, like, you can't claim you have a rough life when there are other people who are, like, literally, like, just, like, their pain scale level, like, compared to mine, like, literally, like, where I think mine is a 10, they're like, nah, bitch, that's, like, a 1 for me, because that happens every fucking day. Like, just, like, I just always feel guilty about that, and I'm just, like, learning to accept that, like, for me, it was hard, and, like, it was just really difficult, and, like, it's still affecting me today, and I just, like, for someone who's, like, been through something that's so rough for them, like, it's really, like, hard to push past it, and, like, my way of moving past it was avoiding it for a really long time, and then finally thinking that I accepted it, but then, like, I don't know, like, somehow my turtle triggered, like, bringing it all up, and, like, I had the same thing happen with my stepbrother a lot. It was just, like, it was, instead of, like, sadness that, like, was triggered. It was fear. I was always afraid of everything after, like, he hurt me. Like, I just was afraid of everything. Like, it literally, like, hallucinated shit because I was so afraid. Like, just nightmares every day and all of that shit. You know what? Yeah, let's not get into that either. Anyways, so, and there's always the victim blame. But anyways, so I've had that happen before. I've had, like, trauma triggers before. But, like, they never hit me that hard, and I was usually able to, like, stuff them down or avoid them or push past them. But with the turtle, it was so strong that, like, I just couldn't push it down, and, like, it just kept growing. And, like, I just couldn't stop crying, and, like, just, it was bad. And, like, I was just, like, feeling worse about myself, like, the more that I cried, and it just made it worse. And, like, it was bad. And then, but we ended up going to the vet, and the good news is that I'm a fucking paranoid ass bitch, and the whole reason that she's, like, swimming around all agitated is because she might be, like, infected with something, which like, I don't really know. Like, it was probably my fault because, like, I'm, like, she has a setup, but, like, it's not, like, the most perfect setup in the fucking world, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's good enough, but, like, it's not perfect, and, like, you know, turtles deserve the best, and, like, if my setup is, like, causing her to be infected, then obviously I need to fix that. And so, like, I'm working to fix that, and then, like, get her the antibiotics that she needs, and then, like, I just need to get over my guilt and pride over being like, oh, I'm gonna take care of the turtle myself, which honestly I shouldn't have accepted this turtle in the first place. I should have just been like, put aside your love for turtles for, like, 2 seconds and think rationally, bitch, because, hello, this is a fully fucking, like, almost adult fucking turtle. Like, you really think you can handle that on your own? And my irrational, excited ass brain was like, yeah! And I was like, yeah, no. The sad part is it took me 2 months and infection to fucking realize it, because I'm just so fucking stubborn. Like, boy. But I'm going to fix her infection, and I'm going to set up her tank and everything properly. Like, I mean, her tank is set up, like, she's not, like, uncomfortable. It's just that, like, it's not, like, ideal, because, like, it's not like it's gonna stunt her growth or anything. Like, it's not really, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I, like, didn't research, like, enough. Like, I feel like if you are gonna get a pet, like, don't do what I've done, clearly. But, like, what I'm saying is, like, if you don't have a pet, and it's, like, gonna be your first, like, exotic pet, or, like, it's gonna be your first pet in general, like, just do your research, like, months beforehand, or, like, meet with your pet, like, months beforehand, and, like, understand the pet, like, the animal, before you just decide to get it. Because I had never met Popcorn before. Like, I had never met Popcorn before. My friend who was giving me the pet, like, Popcorn, she didn't even meet Popcorn before either. She was just getting information from her mom, who was getting information from her grandma, who had the pet turtle. And so it was just, like, a very, like, awkward grapevine. And I trust her, and I trusted her family, and, like, I love them. But, like, you just, when you're getting a pet, like, you should never, like, do what I did. Like, no matter how much you trust someone, like, you should never just, like, on the whim be like, oh yeah, I trust this person, like, I love them, like, I'm just gonna take a pet that they're offering. Like, in reality, they should have, like, given the pet to, like, a rescue center, like, not to an inexperienced child like me. It was all like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking take care of a pet with my own, like, $100. Like, really? Like, turtles are way more expensive than that. And I knew that. I, like, had done enough research to know that. I was just thinking in my rational little brain that, like, somehow it's gonna work out. Yeah, Bobo, you're fucking an idiot. We figured that out. But I did get her a big enough tank for her to, like, live in comfortably. And I did get her like light fixtures, and like I got her like food, and like they give her food and for me and stuff. So like I got her like basic stuff, but like it's not enough for her like not to be like living like her life and thriving. You know, it's not just her survival that I have to care about. Like she's a pet. Like I have to care about her happiness and like her comfortability. And obviously she's getting an infection. Like she's not exactly like the most comfortable and like or healthy. Like even though it appears like she's healthy, like it's obviously not. So like I just went about this all the wrong way. Like I should have done months of research, not weeks. B, I should have met with the turtle and like known how big it was, been prepared for exactly what to do to care for that specific turtle. Because when I did my research, it was basically on just like turtles, like in my species in general. Like I didn't even really like research like a specific gender or anything. Like I didn't like they didn't even know the gender. Like I should have known everything I could have possibly known about the turtle, and every like possible thing that they could have told me. I should have known that about the turtle, and I should have known every possible thing that the internet could have given me. I could have probably like called like a vet or something and asked like for their opinion on that. Like I could have done so much more, but I didn't, and this is why we're here now. I just like refuse to accept that I made a mistake because I'm a fucking stubborn ass bitch with a big ass pride, and that caused the harm of my turtle. And you should never do what I did. Ever. Like ever. Ever. Like never. No. Never. It doesn't matter if it is small as a fucking snail, okay? You do your research before you take a pet. And you do enough research. Like, you do enough research where even if it's a little itty bitty tiny snail, you better make sure it's fucking comfortable and that it shit ain't gonna die. Because I will come kill you myself if you let your little snail die, okay, bitch? Anyways. Wow. I just went way too much into that. But, like, anyways, so, like, we're, like, her tank is fine. Like, we just need to work on, like, more stuff for her so that she's, like, fully comfortable and that she like won't ever get an infection ever again, and that she's like happy and like she's like, you know, like a good big happy turtle instead of just like a comfortable turtle, which obviously she's not comfortable, Angela, if she's getting an infection, you dumbass. Like if I could kill myself and then resurrect myself and then make and have myself like take care of my turtle, like that's what I would do right now. But like I obviously can't because we're human. So yeah, but like still I'm just so fucking mad at myself because like I just was such an idiot, and like I plan to keep the turtle for a long time, so hopefully. And turtles, like, I mean, just animals in general, like they have like some of them are incredibly intelligent. Like turtles are incredibly intelligent, birds are incredibly intelligent. Well, certain birds like turtle doves are not very smart. They're kind of, I'm not gonna lie, but like they're adorably stupid, you know what I mean? Okay, anyways, so turtles in general are very smart, so like I like hope I didn't like cause any like trauma or like fear in her of like anything, and then like hopefully like in the future like she'll forget, and then like um plus I don't even know how like my friend's grandma like raised her, because like she came to me in a small little container and they said that the tank broke, so I don't know how long the tank was broken. Like I don't know exactly like what her like background was, but like that doesn't matter. What matters here is what is here and now, and what's going to happen in the future. And what is happening in the future is that I'm going to take proper care of this turtle, instead of being like, I'm going to take care of this turtle with my own money, like blah blah blah. Like girl, you're like a 16-year-old with no fucking income. Yeah. Okay. Explain to me again how you're going to take a turtle all by your fucking self, like boo boo. Like you're a fucking idiot. I shouldn't have taken this turtle. Like I really like shouldn't have. Like I should have taken this turtle like when I had income, when I knew all of the stuff that I could have known, and bought all of this stuff before I had gotten the turtle, because you have to have the habitat prepared before you get a turtle, which I did not. I mean, fair granted, like I did kind of think that it would come with the turtle, but like that's not, I'm not pointing fingers, like I'm not blaming names like or anything, because like I love my best friend and I love her family, so like and it's not even really their fault. Like, it's kind of like a co-blame, mostly on my part. It's like fucking 75% of my part, and then 25%? I don't know, whatever the fuck the rest of the percentage is of their part. But like, it's not like, it's mostly my fault because I'm just the bad owner and the like inexperienced, ignorant, stubborn, idiotic owner. Like, this is the classic bad ownership example of where a person like me gets excited over a cute animal and is like, oh, I'm gonna get it, isn't prepared, and like has something bad happen to their turtle. The only thing that I'm doing right in this situation is that I'm taking responsibility and I'm actually taking care of my turtle instead of doing what a lot of people do, unfortunately, where they try and set their turtle free in the wild, which that just no, on so many levels, no. Or I could have just given it to a rescue center, but I love this turtle. Like, I would not give this turtle up. Like, I'm gonna take proper care of this turtle and like forever have it, because like it's gonna live longer than me, because like I live a way unhealthy lifestyle, so like bitch is gonna live longer than me, we know this. But I'm gonna take proper care of this turtle because I love this turtle. Like, I'm attached to this turtle. Like, sure, the turtle may not be attached to me, but this bitch is, I'm attached to the turtle, so like I'm not giving the turtle up. So like I'm just gonna properly take care of it and like rectify my mistakes, because like what I have done is unexcusable. What I've done is unforgivable, because like the harm of a creature, even if it's unintentional, but because of my ignorance I harmed it, like that's just unforgivable. That's just idiocy on the highest fucking degree, and like I shouldn't have done this like at all, and I apologize to any owners who might be watching this, which I highly doubt it because my channel was like fucking non-existent basically, and it's basically just for me anyways. Just like I sometimes do like little inspirational talks just to like share my story and like share like what not to do typically, because I'm usually the one who makes the mistakes. But hello, whatever, we learn. We make mistakes, we learn. I can't even say the word saying right. Like, obviously I'm a fuck up. Anyways, but like just but I will continue taking care of her, and I will try and like fix all of my mistakes. I will know I will fix mistakes. Like, I'm gonna set up everything that I need to set up and like get her antibiotics if she's actually like what is the word? Excuse me. I cannot remember the word. Anyways, but like I could play the victim and be like, it's my first pet. Like like no, bitch. Like, even if it's your first pet, like you should know enough to like research more than a couple fucking weeks and like understand the like magnitude of owning a pet. Like, bitch, like you've had a couple dogs, like you should know the magnitude of having a pet. I mean, granted, this is my first reptile, but like still, like just no, there's no excuse for anything that I've done so far. The only forgivable action I'm doing right now is to rectify the mistake by doing everything I can to make sure my turtle is living a happy life and will no further have any problems, because like I'm just a dumbass and like I'm trying to fix that. Obviously it's working fucking swell. Can you tell? But yeah. Then again, I'm not like pointing to anyone, any fingers to anyone aside from myself, because I'm the fucking dumbass here. Like, I am the main and true dumbass here. Like, as always. As fucking always. Like, of course. Like, just, of course. Today is probably one that I will never forget. But it is one that I will always remember, whether for good or bad. That made no sense. I was trying to sound all cool, and then I said this will be a day that I will never forget, and then I was like, this will be a day I will forever remember. Like, those literally mean the same fucking thing. Actually. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Okay. But yeah, I just wanted to say that and like say that like I'm okay now. Like, that dramatic ass bitch from before, is she gone? Like, hopefully she doesn't come back for a second entrance, because bitch, I would. just no. Also, I kind of, okay, I've always had like an interest in like animals. Like I've always loved animals. Like the only animals that I don't really like are like alligators, rats, chimpanzees, and like a couple other like parasitic insects and like other stuff. But like most animals I really really love, and like I've just always loved animals. I've just never like wanted to be one of those girls who was like, oh my god, I want to be a vet, like take care of animals. Like I've never really seen myself as a vet. Like I've never seen myself doing anything medical. So like anytime I always thought about like zoology, like I always thought about like veterinary skills and like medical shit, which I would not be able to do. Not to mention that you have to put down dogs. Like I can't even walk through a foster dog system and like not fucking cry. Like bitch, the fuck you mean I'm gonna be able to put down a dog? Like no. Okay, sorry, but no. And so I've never seen myself as a vet. But then I was like recently like I followed this YouTuber and she was actually like helping me because like I was just like sitting in silence and I couldn't watch any of my old YouTubers because like I just was not able to process anything. And like I just it was bad. Anyways, so I accidentally discovered this girl and she's like a zoologist, and she like has like tons of exotic animals, and they're really cool. Like she has a bunch of snakes, and she has like fuck, my finger is asleep. But she has like a ton of animals. Surprisingly, she doesn't really have turtles. I think she has a snapping turtle, an alligator snapping turtle, but she doesn't have like any normal turtles. So like she's not really like useful to like me per se, but she's just like a really interesting character. She's like really bubbly and cute, and then she like has so many animals and she cares about them, and like it's really like adorable to watch. And like it's just like she's just like look at them. Like she has like ferrets too, like they're just so cute. And she has turtle doves, and then she has like a lot of snakes which are super fucking cool. Like I've always kind of really liked like the smaller snakes, like the boa constrictors, like those, and then the like really venomous like cobra snakes, like those are kind of like a little bit like creepy. Like I mean, if I knew I was in safe circumstances, like then I would be okay touching that kind of snake. But like normal circumstances, like no bitch, like no, never as a pet, like never. Like out of curiosity I would want to pet it and like hold it like with a zoologist. And I'm fucking losing my shit right now, man. Like there's literally like a stuffed orca from like SeaWorld that I got like a couple years ago, and like I'm looking at my camera and like in my peripherals there's like the orca, and like for some reason I can see it moving. Like what the fuck, am I going insane? Guys, please help me. Anyways, continuing on with the story. Anyways, like she just like shows a lot of animals, and she's like she doesn't just show her own animals. She shows like animals that are like being like cared for at her like place like that she works. And so like one time she came in like with a fruit bat, and then she's coming with like an armadillo, and like she's just like showing all these like really cool animals, and it's just really cool. She's talking about the proper care and like blah blah blah, and it's like really cool. And like I just like mainly watch them because like I need to watch the cuteness, and like it was a very 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 helpful distraction. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I just needed something else to think about, and she was great. Like she's great. Like it's just so cute. Yep. So yeah, I really enjoyed watching her. But then like watching her like kind of like reminded me of when I was really younger. And like I've always loved animals, but like when I was younger it was very very prominent. But then I kind of like moved away from like liking animals as much because like a lot of girls loved animals, and I just didn't really want to be a cliche, you know, that basic bitch, you know. And like they all say they don't want to be cliches, but then they end up being cliches anyways. That is fucking me. Except I don't like Starbucks, so I guess not really cliche. I don't know. But anyways, and I highly doubt a lot of girls love reptiles, but like, you know, whatever. like, we're just gonna say, for the sake of this video, that I'm basic. Now it just says that I'm, like, sounds like I'm lying to fit in. I can never say anything right. Anyways, so I really love animals, and I've always really loved animals, but, like, watching her, like, just reminded me of, like, my love for animals, and, like, renewed it, because, like, I've always kind of, like, put it at the back of my mind, because, like, the only thing that I could think about, like, could deal with animals was, like, being a vet, which I already talked about, like, that's it. Like, me, a vet, like, anything medical, like, can you imagine this clumsy ass bitch doing anything medical? Can we just say no, hell no, fucking no, no, no? And so, but, like, I've always loved animals despite that, but, like, I've always been, like, there's only one animal, like, job that's, like, actually clear, which is, like, being, like, a zoo, what's it called? Fucking, like, vet, and I was like, that's not for me. But then she was like, I'm talking about zoology, and she was just like, I love, like, showing animals and, like, treating animals, and she's like, they rescue teams, like, they're so much fun to deal with, because, like, you get all sorts of kind of animals, and, like, you get to care for them, and you get to, like, either tame them if they can't be released back into the wild, or, like, help them and then release them back into the wild, because that just seems so cool to me. Like, oh my god, that sounds so much fun. And I've already talked about how, like, I want to study environmental science, but, like, I don't really know which environmental science that I want to, like, really study. And so I'm working on that. And they said, like, biology is good, like, a good, like, job option, like, degree. But, like, that biology has a lot of math. But then, to be honest, like, zoology has a lot of math, too. But the difference with zoology and biology, though, is zoology, like, has, like, a lot of, like, stuff that you will actually use in the future when you're a zoologist. Like, excuse me, but that seems actually, like, helpful, because, like, my brain, like, it is fucking weird, okay? But, like, it, for some reason, like, I can memorize, like, song lyrics really quickly, because, like, I just, like, am, like, it speaks to me, or, like, I sing it, and, like, just singing it once, like, it can already be, like, stuck in my head, and I don't know why, but acting with something really, really helps my brain, like, memorize shit. Like, that's why I'm so good at memorizing lyrics. That's why when I was really younger and actually paid attention and watched movies, I was really good at watching, like, memorizing quotes, and I would just randomly say them because I was a fucking weird nerd, okay? We've established that. And so, yeah, like, just my brain, like, just works that way. I don't know why, it just does. And it's funny how it works that way with learning, but then, like, when I'm not learning and I'm just, like, doing everyday tasks, like, I can't remember doing them. Like, don't ask. I don't even understand myself. But I think that, like, if I was, like, doing those, practices enough, and, like, actually, like, did them in, like, whatever, like, study, like, that I wanted to do, like, zoology, like, I think I could memorize it pretty easily. Problem is that, like, I fucking suck at math right now, and, like, there's only 2 more years left of school, and I'm like, not to mention, I only plan to take 2 years of college, and then, like, 4 years of Coast Guard, but I don't know if I'm going to stay in Coast Guard, or if I'm going to move on with my life from Coast Guard. I'm not entirely sure. We're still learning, okay? I'm 16, like, I got time. Almost 17. I don't know why I put my pointer finger up like that. Like, what point are you making? Like, there's literally no point to make. You just were like, I'm just gonna put you up, like, for no fucking reasons, okay? Fine, you do you. Like, fucking, oh, way. Wow. But I just, like, think it would be really cool to, like, interact with all these kind of animals. And then also, like, you get to learn the history of them. And I also really, really love history. But, like, history, like, that relates to me. And I feel like history of, like, animals is really fascinating. And, like, just, like, everything to do with zoology, like, it seems really cool and fascinating, and I think I would be interested in it. The only problem is the math, which I fucking hate, and, like, I don't know if I could do it. But we're gonna try. Yeah. I also have to break it to my journalism teacher, who I love to pieces, like, he's amazing, but I have to break it to him that I'm probably not gonna take journalism next year, because I'm probably going to take something more sciencey, or I don't know. I just want to like broaden my options, you know? Like I honestly don't feel like being an editor like is very practical anymore. And like I mean, it's a fun thing to do on the side, but I don't think like it's a practical thing to do as a career. And so I'm moving on to other options, and I'm like broadening my range, like discovering what I actually really like and stuff, and not just focusing on like you're gonna be an editor. Like that's literally been my train of thought like all through freshman, or like the second quarter of freshman year, and then all of sophomore year, like until recently, where I've been like, yeah, like gotta think about this logically like a little bit. So yeah, broadening my options, one of them being zoology, because I really, 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 really love animals. Like I don't really like fawn over them. Like I don't know how to explain like my love for animals. Like just like I feel like I like a lot of like weird animals, and like I mean I love cats and dogs too, but like they're just like so domesticated. Like it's kind of like you're just kind of used to them. And I also really like love exotic animals too. Like birds are super cool. Like I remember my dad used to have this Tupac, which I don't know if it's an actual Tupac, but like I just call him Tupac, and I named him Tupac. But he's porcelain, and I think he got it from Mexico, and it was really cool because it was hung up in his room, and I like always stared at it, and he was always like, yeah, and he always like saw me staring at it, and one day he was just kind of like, hey, Angela, like, do you want it? Like, you stare at it all the fucking time, like, you might as well take it right now. I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, like, you're my daughter, like, why wouldn't I give it to you? And I was like, oh, thank you. And then I took it, and I literally carried it around with me everywhere. Like, I'm surprised it's not chipped or broken, because like this bitch carried it around everywhere, like literally everywhere. I would have taken it into the bath if my grandma would have let me. Like this bitch took this everywhere. Like, and I still really love Tupac, and like I've just always said I loved like I don't know, exotic animals. Even when I was younger, I just like kind of had this fascination with them, and like I kind of forgot because like you just kind of get like caught up in like your life and shit, and like forget about like your love for certain things. And like this video is almost over, so like I'm gonna end it here. But like yeah, just like watching her and like this day like was fucked up in the beginning, like the majority of it, but like throughout it, like I just kind of like rediscovered myself and like am happier now. So yeah, bye.